Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today is the last day of our Betacamp journey, and our team is super excited to present you our startup. Ploro is a digital marketing agency that brings Gen Z marketing to local gems. Now, to understand the problem our startup is aiming to solve, let me tell you a story about a small Canadian restaurant called Cove. It's a wonderful looking place with very tasty food, very tasty and high quality food. Yet, despite this, there are very few visitors at the restaurant, and they're all seniors aged 60 and up. These senior clients are not spending as much money as younger clients are, and this is holding back Cove from flourishing.
Sophia, I think you're either muted or you cut out.
I think she cut out the Zoom.
Here, I can finish. And while they really want to expand their customer base and bring in new clients, they are struggling with attracting a huge market of Gen Z and millennial audience, mainly because they don't have enough time and experience to promote their business on social media, where this audience mostly spends its time. On this slide, you can see how terrible Cove is at promoting their business on Instagram. The percentage of their active subscribers is less than 0.3%. Now, effective social media promotion is exactly what Ploro marketing is helping restaurants with. In summary, the problem statement of these restaurants is that small local restaurants struggle with social media promotion as well as attracting a Gen Z and millennial audience. When Ploro comes along to these restaurants, only 2% of them have non-local customers due to lack of awareness from visitors. And these visitors are important because they spend more on food than locals, often spending up to 25% of their budget on food. Knowing this, these restaurants try to reach them themselves. However, we found that 100% of small restaurants we surveyed use Instagram, but TikTok is beyond their reach, so they delegate the task to a third party, which is where Ploro comes in. Now, let's talk a little bit about the team behind Ploro Marketing. Our team consists of 6 wonderful high school students whose photos and names you can see on the slide, and our main advantage is that we are a part of Gen Z with heavy marketing knowledge. With that being said, let's talk about how exactly we help local restaurants attract more customers. Using our natural intuition, algorithm, and vast experience with social media and TikTok in particular, we create high-quality promotional TikTok videos for local restaurants to expand their outreach.
Our services can drastically improve a client's social media presence. Here we have Stack Smoked, which is a Texas barbecue restaurant. On the left, we have Stack's low quality and very generic social media posts before working with us. On the right, we can see that after working with us, there's a drastic improvement with how Stack markets themselves on social media. Instead of having a boring Instagram post, we create an engaging video to help them bring in more customers. Let's talk about our website. We created this simple website for potential clients to learn about our different service packages, and so that future clients can give us feedback on how we can improve any of our services. Having our website also helps us gain trust and credibility, which allows us to make a strong impression and shows potential clients that we can provide a high quality service. In order to get clients, we quickly realized that going in person rather than trying to contact restaurants by phone is the most effective way to get them on board. We were able to sit down and have meaningful conversations with restaurant owners to really understand their needs. These are some behind the scenes of our team pitching to restaurants about our MVP. Over here, we can see some of our potential clients. These are all restaurants that we started a sales conversation with. At the top, we have Simple Kitchen, Stack, Cove, and River 16. These are the restaurants that are very impressed with our service and who we are in deep talks with to provide our services. And all of these restaurants are where we got customer responses from. A common theme that we've seen from these potential clients is that they've told us something like, we've been waiting for someone like you guys. Many of them have mentioned that they really enjoy our content, and they really seem to understand what our business efforts can bring for them and their restaurant. Customers also really appreciate our emphasis on clarity, engagement, and good communication with them. Lastly, they really enjoy the actual quality of our product, as well as the aesthetic.
Now that these restaurants have seen Ploro's solution, we show them why it's better than others. First, we are much more localized than most of our competitors. This is an advantage because we can personalize and care for the restaurant's social media in a way that would be impossible for someone calling in from a different province or country. Ploro also uses and is more experienced in social media than our competitors. A competitor that specifically needs to be addressed is restaurants who just have a friend do it. This may be cheaper for the restaurant. Having a friend do it cannot beat out having experienced staff who have customer satisfaction and the content their highest priority. With all that in mind, let's address how much of a market there actually is for this and how much money could it produce based on our prices. These numbers were calculated using the yearly value of a customer who's on our Deluxe plan, for the reason that it is the best choice when you consider the algorithm, which is explained to all potential clients, multiplied by the amount of restaurants in that area which we estimate would be interested in our product. That being said, our TAM is $44.9 billion, our SAM is $290.7 million, and our SOM, calculated based on our current conversion rate of 12%, which we hope to increase in the future, is $5.2 million.
Here we have our current business model, which is essentially how we make our money. We are a subscription-based business that also makes money through royalties. To do this, first restaurant goes onto our website and selects one of our video packages. We then create and post however many videos they want with a 2.5K minimum view guarantee and a refund if we don't hit that benchmark. We then take a royalty for every 1,000 views the videos we create get on TikTok once the video reaches over 5,000 views. Looking at our pricing system, you can see here we have 4 different packages that our clients can choose from. Each package has a varying number of videos and prices that correlate accordingly. We record and edit all of our videos for our clients in each package, which also include our view guarantee. Here we have our customer acquisition cost, which consists of the cost of business cards, our website, and hours committed to the sales process. These are the costs to acquire one customer. The cost for making TikToks and our other marketing strategies have no cost at all. We also have our annual recurring revenue at $4,611.96. The high value shows the importance of our customers and why customer satisfaction is of utmost importance. To calculate ARR, we took the fixed price of the bundle of 8 and multiplied it by 12, which just represents months in a year. And we use that bundle of 8 because posting at least twice a week is the minimum that business should post for optimizing viewership.
So here we have our MVP sales and profit for our one single plan sold, which generates a revenue of $56.49, leading us to have a net profit of $30.99, including door-to-door costs. Here are 3 key insights we learned from our progress so far. We learned that to collect data and interact with our potential clients, we needed to go in person. For people to lean towards our service and trust us, we needed an exemplar video of our work. And for our potential clients to contact us, we needed business cards. I'm sure you've noticed the unconventional key points by now. Behind each of these key points, there's a story. For example, during our pitches, restaurants were asking for our business cards to contact us, and we didn't have them. So for the first restaurant, we played them off by saying that we would contact them instead with their card. By the second place, we actually told them that we would quickly grab it and be back. So we went to the nearest Staples, quickly created the design in the car, printed it, and went back to give them out. All these stories involve a lot of hustle, which is why we chose them to mark out our progress, since we believe they display how hardworking and driven we are. Our mission is to help expand the outreach of local restaurants, and in time, we want to become the world's largest Gen Z marketing agency. So what are Ploro's future steps? Firstly, we want to gather customer feedback and analytics after acquiring a couple more clients and see what changes we need to implement to reach our goals. Next, we want to expand into more industries for local businesses. For example, as of right now, we do only operate with local restaurants, but we do want to branch into marketing local businesses in general. Lastly, we want to hire young students experienced in social media or website creation to continue Ploro within their own cities for their own local businesses.
Before we end off with our presentation, I'd like to present our ask. Unlike a traditional ask, we would like to steer away from money and rather ask for your guidance. Both of you range from large and well-known venture capitalist firms, and it would be great for our team to receive assistance on future expansion and scaling up. In addition, networking with you guys will give us an access to a network of talented venture capitalists and also a pile of resources. Likewise, your networks of local clientele can help our agency be more well-known. Like my colleague stated, our goal is to expand our MVP at a fast rate. And as the realm of Gen Z marketing, it's an untapped yet profitable market. We want to expand into larger and more dense geographics while also onboarding new high school students, which are heavy tasks. With your presence as our advisors, our agency will go nowhere but up from here. In return, we can provide our services to the businesses under your belt, including your own personal ventures, that are looking to attract broader audiences. Our expertise in social media, marketing, and attracting Gen Z demographics can inevitably help those companies, and together we can grow. That concludes our presentation, and if you guys have any questions or concerns, you may address them. Thank you for your attention.
Good job, guys. 1 second remaining on the timer, so you guys absolutely crushed it. We're going to do 5 minutes of Q&A. Danny, Kevin, if you guys have any questions, now's the time. I'll put 5 minutes on the clock. Oh, you guys are muted, sorry.
Great job, Ploro. Yeah, really interesting. Looks like you guys have built a business that's working right off the bat. You went out and started making money. So congratulations on that. That's a big first step. A lot of startups actually never get to. That's exciting. I'm really not too familiar with this new agency model for Gen Z social media on TikTok. I know it's out there and I know there's companies doing it. So this was very educational for me. I think I still have a lot to learn about the space that you guys are working in. And the questions that were popping in my head, actually, you guys answered a lot of them around some of these metrics like customer acquisition cost and annual revenue, and lifetime value would also be a good metric to throw in there. To me, some of the challenges seem that your sales process and biz dev is a little heavy. You have to go into the restaurants to close the deals. So that seems like there's some risk there. And then scaling that, you mentioned bringing other people on in different cities that can go in and do that themselves and also make the content, I think is what you said. So yeah, there's questions about how that might scale in my mind and if that can scale well. But it seems like you guys have carved out a sizable market. And I think it's just about continuing to execute. And if you can scale it. One thing I would be interested to see is the actual effect that this has for a specific restaurant. So if you did a use case with one of these restaurants and say, okay, these were their numbers the 6 months or 12 months preceding before they started marketing with this. And then once they started marketing with this, their numbers started climbing up and we can prove that this is effective. And I think that could also be very helpful in selling to new clients. I'm interested where that goes. I guess one kind of last question is TikTok is like the thing right now, right? That's where everybody wants to be. That's where all the eyeballs are. That could maintain for years. That could change in a couple of years. Have you guys thought about what happens if, the eyeballs shift to a different platform? Do you think you'll be able to shift with it, or have you thought about that at all?
I can take this question if you don't mind. But so our whole plan is to keep our current business model in terms of staying with Gen Z platform. That's why as our age demographic grows up and then more come in, we want to keep the people that run our business as Gen Z. So as new trends come along, and as of right now, TikTok is almost like the new Google search engine in a way where millennials and Gen Z, they use TikTok to search for, places near me. And then they just scroll through there to find places to hang out, to eat. So if new things do come along, we expect that the new Gen Z or the new generations that come along will have information about it. So we'll just hire them and keep it going. So it's recurring.
All right. Thanks, guys.
I shared a lot of the same kudos as well as questions as Danny. And so maybe I'll just build off some of those thoughts. First of all, amazing job. I love the story about going to Staples and getting the business card done, because that's typically an indicator of kind of the resilience and grit and on the spot problem solving it takes to land a first customer, which of course you successfully did, which is amazing. Similar thoughts in terms of how you scale this thing going forward, because you landed on the localization as being part of your secret sauce to this thing. And of course, being localized is sometimes at odds with growing and taking on more local geographies that you want to enter those markets into. And so something for you to think about is how you keep that localization advantage as you're not just a local company. Also shared a few thoughts on your business development and how you're going to acquire customers being pretty heavy. And it could be interesting for you guys to think about how you go and acquire more than one customer in a single sort of pitch process. So might be really worthwhile to go look at BIAs, business improvement associations, and say, hey, listen, you're all trying to market this downtown area in a certain town or city. Can we do a sort of a district deal where we actually work with a number of restaurants in that area and helps you onboard 4 or 5 or 10 clients at a time. And so you start to get out ahead of your acquisition costs. So getting clever about where you're going to go find more pools of clients could be really interesting. Last thing I'll say is your problem statement up front to me was very vague in comparison to the problem that I think you're actually solving. And so the problem that you described in the story, and by the way, I love that you started with a story because it's oftentimes the most helpful way to describe the problem. But it was almost like the problem you described was, hey, marketing sucks and we're doing it better. But I actually think the more you went through the presentation, your secret sauce and the problem you're solving is that traditional agencies don't know how to get in front of Gen Z like Gen Z does. And so our agency consists of Gen Z, and we have some secret sauce in bringing that thinking to go to attract people like us. I think it still needs a little bit more work and distinction beyond that, but I think that's an interesting insight to hang on to, because that really is different from sort of other agency models that may be out there. Overall, amazing job.
Thank you for your time, judges. I think all of Team One can vouch for this, but your feedback was amazing, really helpful, and we'd honestly love to connect afterwards too.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was very helpful.